Hi guys, what if this game had a patch, and what if I made the patch? Now, let's start with Soul. What I would first target is his dive kick. Now, on its own, perfectly fine. I don't have any qualms with that. What I do have a problem with, though, is this. Why is this boy allowed to do a dive kick off of a whiff? The only time this should work is on hit, similar to how Sin breakdances. See how you can not do anything if you just whiff? You can't even special cancel. The only time you could do anything off of this is if you land a hit. So why does Soul get privilege? Who knows? It's just something I would like to change to start with. The next thing I'd target for Soul would be his Bandit Revolver. This is deceptively good tracking. This will track left and right very well. And when done in a string, that breaks guard, and if you're not stepping that attack, you basically get freed up for free damage. So you have 20 frames to eyeball when to sidestep, and that's just too harsh. Soul needs a bit more counterplay, in my opinion. Let me try and show you. Okay, so I'm going to try and get Sin to block. You see how my 5x, the second hit, he did a sidestep and it tracked because he didn't sidestep the first hit. That, I think, also needs to be brought down a peg so it has less tracking. Alright, let me try and get him to guard. Actually, I can just do this instead by telling him to guard on purpose. So on guard, when you eat this, your guard's broken, and Soul can modern cancel into a free combo, and it's very oppressive. So I think that needs basically knocking down a peg too. Next, I would just focus his Crimson Jacket. This gives you armor, like you're doing a VV. So you could just press into people and basically win a fight every time, and it's just too oppressive. This already gives you, I think off the top of my head, like 20% armor damage reduction. And if you pair that with a ghost buff, you're basically unkillable. That is enough. And the OTGs, that is more than enough. The fact that it has a built-in armor, like a VV move, where you could just hit through stuff is just ridiculous. Go on, Sin, try and hit me. Sin, hit me. You see that shit? He hit me, doesn't matter, it's still my turn, I'm so bad. It's just too much. I hate it. It needs go. It needs removing. So the whole point of this is I would like to target Soul's oppressiveness in the hands of a newcomer against a newcomer, because a newcomer could just go, just press buttons, and it's just very strong, and it's even stronger in the hands of a veteran. I just want to focus on his ability to just plow through guard with how easy it is for him to do this. Like any modern cancel, and you're already through a guard, and that's the window you have to react. That's just not enough. Okay, moving on to Soul's Tribe. Drills have this really uncanny thing where they will do their basic attack. If the swordsman will leave me alone. Swordsman! If I could try and show you an example of this, that would be nice. I mean, honestly, the swordsman is guilty of this as well. Their basic attacks do whiff more often than they should for their price point. Like, the only thing good about drills is their health pool. Like, they have probably the highest health pool. Maybe having them fight in this tiny arena is not the play. I'll see how this goes. Yeah, I don't think having them in here is a good idea. I'm going to try on the other side. Oh, wow. There we go. Like, okay, it sidestepped there. That's fair enough. If it sidesteps, then yes, it should, in all honesty, miss. But more often than not, I feel like that attack right there just misses more than it should. Okay, now blades and gauntlets have a similar problem to drills, where their basic attacks will whiff a bit too often, in my opinion. Like that. Like, that's tiny. That shouldn't miss. He should lunge forward. Now, Gauntlet has a slightly better day at this because he does actually lunge forward a little bit. But Blade will miss. Like, 25% of the time. And it's just like, you cost so much money. Why do you miss? It's just annoying. Not to mention it costs exactly the same as a gauntlet and will lose practically all the time. Try and get another example, hopefully. Look at that, two misses so far. Oh look, oh that was a legit dodge. Oh come on, even his special attack's trash. Like stuff like that shouldn't miss unless, especially against armors, because armors sidestep are really bad as well. But yeah, my point is, buff their attack range to both of these units because they shouldn't miss as much as they do. Maybe against mobile units because, you know, they're nimble, but that's going into the future. I'll let future Shax handle that topic. Okay, let's talk about Gigan. It is already 480 mana, so these should be dirt cheap. Why they cost so much is absurd. Like 580 for a single unit is crazy, and the fact that this is necessary for this unit to get around the map is ridiculous. Like, the ranged buff makes it move as fast as a drill. It will take an entire round. Let's say you bought this round 3, right? You're winning, hard winning. You bought a Gigan. If you don't give that a mobility buff, it will take 5 minutes to go from here to basically 2 or 9 or even 5. Like, it'll take the best part of a round to be in a position for you to be useful. And it's just, to pay 580 for a unit that's not doing anything for you until the end of a round or halfway through a round is just ridiculous. The price point for it is fine because it fears units, it just destroys things, but the upgrades, in my opinion, should be dirt cheap. I'm thinking like 20 just across the board, maybe 30 for the mobile because it's the only one worth using. The other ones are kind of memey. Okay, I'm going to time how long this thing takes to go from Ghost 1 to Ghost 2. So you've paid 480 mana for this thing, right? It's already probably taken a minute, if you didn't buy the upgrade, to get to this point. So you're looking at probably another minute and a half. Now it's been 20 seconds since I started this bit. That's as far as it traveled. It's just like, it needs a bit of love. And the fact that this thing here is so incredibly necessary to give this unit more value, it just needs to be cheaper. There is no reason for this to be 100 mana. Especially since this unit is kind of average. Like, it's so easy to exploit. You just drop some anti-rods on it and it will die in like 20 seconds tops. Move spin up the way.
What's the status?
Also, it paths like an idiot. Like, why are you not just going this way? Okay, so it's been a minute, 10 seconds.
What's the status?
That's as far as it's traveled so far. And I'm just trying to speed this up because this is ridiculous. This is why no one really uses this unit unless you're hard winning, because it's fucking useless. Like, why?
What's the status?
Why when Queen exists? Like, even when using this strat, it's just, it takes too long. Let's speed it up somewhat. Right, so that took literally just under 2 minutes by a second.
What's the status?
So 3 minutes to travel an entire map is ridiculous for 480 mana, and can be destroyed at any point if a master catches it. Horrible. It needs the add-on buff to just be cheaper to make it more valuable. Okay, moving on to Blockhead. So this unit will not use any of its abilities unless it's in combat, including its heal, which is stupid. If a unit is damaged, it should heal it because, you know, that's value. Right, so it's choosing to upgrade a drill. Now, this is not permanent. Imagine if Blockhead, over time, could buff all of these units to have the secondary effect and make Soul's late game, well, not so much more powerful because this buff isn't that great, except maybe on ranged units because it has a big giant AoE gun. But could you imagine having like 3 pencil guys with this stupid buff on? That would be absurd, but funny and interesting. But as it stands, it's just eh. Right, I'm gonna hurry up and kill this drill because this engulfer is This blockhead's not gonna do its job. Once this ghost has been captured, it's no longer gonna heal these units. Right, so the heal has a cooldown, which absolutely fine. Like having it spam that is ridiculous, but there is no reason Blockhead shouldn't be healing these guys right now. The fact that it's tied to has to be in combat for that to work is just silly. That needs changing. Okay, Engulfer. This is annoying. He's not going to do it now. Normally when you're just driving by, I'll try and get him to behave. Why is he not sealing me? Sir, seal me. Seal me, please. Alright, let's try this again. Please seal me. There we go. Like, for example, if you're driving by and he does that, that sucks, man. Like, now you can't drop off any units, you can't heal. It's just, it needs a channel, like a 1 to 2 second channel, just so that you can get out of range. So it can't just drive by, grab you with seal. That was the point I was trying to make, but Engulfer is just Engulfer and will just pick and choose what he wants to do. I think that's on cooldown now, so he's... Okay, he just randomly does it. Like, you drive by, that happens, and it's like, oh no, I can't do anything here. I'm kind of screwed.
Wait for it.
I think it just needs a nerf in that department where it's just a little bit less oppressive. I mean, it's not exactly a strong unit, but giving it more health and just the ability to channel its seal rather than going, ha, you got sealed, screw you. It's just kind of lame. Okay, let's talk about Sin. So this can be abused. I hate it. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? So the fact that you can jump cancel out of that and he can just block the 3rd hit is kind of shit. This should come out faster. And if that's not enough because of how jank this game is, it should give him armor during this entire string. So that if they do punish it with a jump or armor, Sin doesn't give a shit. He's just like, no, I made that read fair and square. You're taking damage whether you like it or not. Like, you know, any other parry in any other game. The fact that he could try and challenge that afterwards is absurd. And what else would I do? I would just make it so that this 5x is literally just a 1 frame faster. Like, I get his design. He's meant to be like mid-range. He plays at a range, but it's just a bit too slow. Like, that takes too long. That needs to be slightly faster. This is too short. It's a good keep off me tool, but that I feel like just needs just 1 more frame. And then I feel like Sin would be just a better character for it. I don't have anything else to really say about Sin. I think just his general gameplay is fine. He's not absurd like Soul, for example. Honestly, I wouldn't change Kai at all. I like his kit. There's nothing really bad about it, to be perfectly honest with you. The fact that Bush breaks guard and, you know, is fucking 20 frames, if less, is fine. But that is guilty of not giving him... Why does that not give him the armor buff? There is no reason that should not give him the armor buff. What the hell?
His position. I accept.
Why does he not give himself the armor buff? Like, someone explain. Makes no sense. Other than that, I think Kai's fine. Okay, this might be controversial, but... That's lame. Why does he have that? The fact that he can just go, your utility, shut up, and it's an AoE. Although you can just destroy as much AoE as he physically can be near. He has an aura attack damage thing permanently. He does not need the ability to cleanse. That's what Dispel's for. Like, come on, man. And that cooldown is ridiculous. He's just like, shut up, no utility for you. And it's just like, please, sir, what do you mean? It's a bit rude. That might be controversial, but I think that's just a bit too much for Convict, in my personal opinion. Okay, let's talk about Heaven's Libra. It's anti-armor everything. It is too highly tuned, in my opinion. Like, if you have a Convict and a Libra together, no comp wins. All this is going to die in seconds now because of the armor Libra. Like, it's a basic comp, sure. There's a whole bunch of melees, there's a whole bunch of melees, but any sort of combination of Libra and Convict will just annihilate everything to such a nasty disproportion. I think the armor shred is like 50. I think it is toning down to like 20. Yeah, all these guys are gonna die. Basically, ooh, that's a nice camera angle. I'll leave it like this till it finishes. Oh, and it lasts way too long. Look at that, it's been up this entire fight. Oh, everything is basically dead compared to everything that's still alive. And it's still alive. This should not last this long. That's crazy. Yeah, it's not even a contest. You could just win a lane with this setup. And unless you're bringing a Dispel and not dealing with this, you're just screwed. I mean, that's the whole point of Kai and Sin's late game, this sort of combination. Like, it's meant to be like this, it's meant to be unbeatable, but the numbers are just too much. Look, everything is extremely healthy. You can literally just go like this and go, all that hard work, all that 2,000 mana, what? It doesn't matter, it's all gone now. It's ridiculous. Okay, moving on to Wise Men. Now, these units could be good if they stop doing their buff. Look how long it takes for them just to stop doing this stuff. They gotta put a buff on everyone. You see their attack? It's actually not that bad. They spam it a lot. But the fact that they just go, you need a buff, have a buff, you need a buff, you have a buff. But they just don't do their really obnoxious shit, which is this. Like, 3 of these is so annoying. Like, if you're trying to fight something, they just hit you. I think it's a good attack if they just didn't do their buff. Like, this is annoying. Like, you're trying to do like a master fight and you just got this stuff happening in the back. It's really, really annoying. But shamefully, they use their stupid, really rubbish buffs. Like, have a magic defense buff. Like, who cares? I'm still gonna die in like 2 hits. Where's the other ones? There they are. Like, well, hello Kappa, what the hell? I've never seen them T-pose before. Yeah, look at this. Like, let's just set up, guys. Like, why aren't you doing this when you're near each other in the first place? Why do you have to be in battle to do this? But if they applied this outside of battle, they'd be so much better. But because they spend like a good 5 seconds doing the dumb shit before they start doing their good shit, that's probably why they're the worst unit in the game. Moving on. I don't know, maybe if they had the buff thing, maybe if it was like a mini paradigm stratagem, so they just go, everyone in AoE, just zoom to a ghost, and then it wears off. Huh? Why is everyone T-posing? It's too many things died. That's kind of funny. But yeah, if it had a different buff, like just zoomies, Wiseman would be actually cool and fun, and, you know, not just have a magic buff against things that don't do magic damage. Everything's physical. Like, it's a pointless buff. It does nothing. And I'm going to waste 3 seconds applying it. Yes, the attack damage buff is negligible. I doubt it does anything great. I've never seen it, like, bother me. It just, if it had a change like that, it'd be a decent unit, is what I'm getting at. Okay, now Kappa have this glaring problem where they give themselves no stagger, so they can't fall over when they do their counter attack. So if you were Soul, for example, you could do a smash attack right there, and that'll die. That's the fastest thing to kill in the game. You just go the 4x, 5x, 5z, smash, and it's basically dead. And that takes like a second. Now, how do we combat this? I would say when they do their the counterattack, they should buff themselves with armor, like for the entire duration, so that it counteracts this gameplay where you just go smash attack. Like you'd smash attack there, and then they wouldn't just die for free. Now, whilst they buff themselves with armor, if they're by a ghost, then they're just annoying to deal with. And considering that's Izuna the main unit, having them just be that free is just their downfall. They need something. And I think giving them an armor application similar to what a Yuki is doing right now. You see how it's got an armor buff? Like, if they did that to themselves mid counterattack, I think they wouldn't be so tragic. But here we are. And then you couldn't really do much damage to it. And at least you have to pick it back up and kill it. Yeah, that's all I would really change for Kappa, just because of how they're designed to counteract just the fact that you can just murder them without having to knock them over, because the way the stagger turns off when they go into that counter attack state. Just want to demonstrate my point with Soul, specifically with Kappa, because he's the main problem for this. So Soul can abuse Kappas. Something like that, and they just insta-die. Now if I could do a bit of a more optimal, less tension-heavy... Kappa, please. Cooperate, for God's sake. They're just too abusable. And then they just die instantly, because Soul's a thing. I don't think that really demonstrated my point very well, but Soul specific, it will insta-gib Kappas faster than anything else, and that being a main unit for Izuna is just really bad, and giving them that armor that I'm talking about would just give them at least a window to stand back up and at least take 2 more hits, like, the rest of the units, just to be in line with everything else. And maybe a health buff as well. I think they're pretty squishy. Now, if they had, like, similar to Drill, maybe not the same health, maybe just like 20 less, they're just a turtle with a giant hat. Like, come on, they look tanky. Make them look tanky. Moving on to Tengu.
I will give directions. Strategy stinks. Alrighty. I'm so busy.
Okay, Tengu's okay. Like, it's just like a big nothing elite. It's just like, it exists. But this tornado attack it does. Wow. Like, can it do damage? Like, over time? Like, it's useful against targets it's weak against, but it's fucking annoying, if anything. Like, okay, now I can't kill it. And then it comes off cooldown again.
Strategy stinks.
And the tornado cooldown is just conveniently long enough that it's back off cooldown again by the time it finishes. It's just... And then the cycle begins again. So Tengu can do this thing where if it's doing a 1v1 right now, it's just griefing you. It's not doing anything, really. It's just like, I'm going to stand here and just waste this unit's time. It's like, at least let it do damage or something over time whilst this is happening. Maybe have it so it doesn't last 30 seconds. And then it's just something. I feel like Tengu just needs something like that. Because it's an okay unit. It's just gets outshined by other melee units like Firewheel. Firewheel could just go, you're dead because I'm level 3 and you weren't looking at me. This unit is just kind of, I exist. And it's a bit sad. Maybe I'm reaching. This is just my personal take on Tengu. Like, that move's okay, its other attacks are okay, its tornado is just who cares? It's like, it exists. Okay, Paradigm. This cheese that happens to poor new people is annoying. Now, normally, summon units and just utility in general gets damaged pretty bad by capture units. But when this unit applies this massive buff on itself, now it just does all this free damage and there's no way to deal with it. Like literally the best thing to do against this unit is to pick up your guys so they don't get stuck on it and just let it do this for free. Because a Dispel won't kill it. A Dispel will half health it at most. And it lasts 60 seconds. So this thing is being annoying for 60 seconds. Capture units, which would normally kill summon units within like 1 or 2 of them, do absolutely nothing to this guy. Like having him be like invulnerable practically to servants and just being a menace, I'm fine with. But this right here is not fun. No one likes to be on the receiving end of this. Look, on its own, it's just done some free damage to the Master Ghost. And if I can get a capture unit to spawn. Now what's your Gate Gunner? Look how chunked this gets. That's almost half his life. This thing has way too much health for what it is. It has probably like 1,000 plus health, and then when it does the armor buff thing it does to itself, like taking a chunk out of Paradigm's life, it's just unkillable for 60 seconds, and it's just too much. It's just like, what do you do? And the answer is nothing. Like you actually have to go at it. I can buy another one. You have to go at it with 2 dispels just to get rid of it, and at no point in a match is that a sane thing to do. Okay, it didn't have the shield, so it died, but if it didn't have the shield, you'd need at least 2, maybe 3. It's just too much. Next, I would target his stratagem, because the cooldown on this is basically constant. I think there's like a 3-second window where it's off, like you can't use it. And it lasts just as long as the cooldown, and you've got all these boys numing across the map. And then you got this big boy that just is unkillable if, you know, Paradigm is around, just being like, dropping apples, being annoying, dropping his bombs, like... He's the strongest at the macro in this game, just purely because of stratagem. Like he could easily just run them up to 2, run them back to 5, run them to 2 and 9, and there's just no one can catch up with that. Yes, you can maybe pick up some guys, but picking up a couple of guys against like half of a servant cap is just crazy. Like, look. It's back up again, and they can just now run to 2. Like this should still be on cooldown right now. Like this is just on all the time. No one else has access to this, and it's fine. It's fine for Paradigm to have, just not the entire game, not the entire round with like a 3-second break. Get Valentine out of the way. Look at that, it's just come off cooldown, and what, 5 seconds? 8 seconds max? Oh look, it's back up again. It's like, no, the cooldown needs to be a minute. You should have a 2-minute cooldown. Like, like the name suggests, it's a stratagem. You should use it strategically, not just spam it because you can. Right, Gate Gunner. Gate Gunner is fine as it is. What is not fine about it is... Oh, I've got to turn off these... it's just going to die. Right, so it shoots, okay? It applies a slow. Why? And not only does it apply a slow, sometimes it applies attack speed. If I can get it to do the attack speed. Not going to play ball now. Oh no, it gives freaking your units attacks, like, okay, so it shoots, it's a summon, it counters melee, it slows targets it hits, it attack speed, gives you attack power increase, and all that costs is 120 mana at the start of the match, which you get off the get-go, and I think it has like a 15-second cooldown. Like, you can have 2 of these guys at once. No, you should only be able to have 1 of these guys at once. Because now you got 2 of these guys applying all that shit, and it's like, come on, man, why do you need that much? It's crazy. Okay, let's talk about Bone Biter. This unit has probably the most staying power of any armor unit, purely because it can heal itself by consuming its allies. And the allies are dirt cheap, so it doesn't matter, you just replace them by buying other ones. That's not enough though, because if you're standing near it, you do less damage. So it's very hard to kill unless you have an anti-armor rod, or you just have a good 30 seconds to chunk it in the open without a ghost debuff, because you are barely hurting this thing with your biggest attacks. Yeah, that's going to take you forever. I don't think it needs the attack debuff. It's good enough. Yes, part of the lore, it's stinky, like the stench is supposed to affect your damage, but in terms of gameplay, it's too much to deal with. Just no thanks, no more, please. Okay, let's talk about Valentine's normals. Her 4x and her 5x are pretty bad. You have like likes of Soul in your face, and you whiff this, it's Soul's turn again, and you don't want it to be Soul's turn because he's very strong when he's this close to you. Now, I would give Valentine just, you know, reasonable range on these moves. This should hit. This should hit from here, but it doesn't. 4x is slightly better, but they're also very slow moves. Like, Soul will beat this. Most of the cast will beat this. And even if you do land this stuff online, like, weird stuff happens with Valentine online. Like, this will just start pushing units away. It just doesn't really work. So her punish is very bad online. You mainly have to rely on her specials to get anything done. And, you know, that costs tension. So there's only so much you can do. And her specials are fine. I've got no problem with her special. It's just her normals need looking at and addressing. Talk about her 2x. It's janky at the best of times, especially with character models. You have to hit this at the right angle for that to land, and it's just better to do unlock camera. But it's still not very user-friendly. It's more of an advanced tactic. What I would like to see this move have is a follow-up. So it does this into just a straight, like, poke attack. So that if that whiffs, you can just follow up with a big get off me. And that can have little pushback, but the follow-up should have a big pushback, just to give you breathing room. And that also just gives you the ability just to modern cancel into stuns the normal way. Like, you'd have to... Like, you modern cancel anyway to get that, so that remains untouched. But if you just do this into the follow-up that I'm talking about, give that, like, some recovery so it's not spammable and has counterplay, because beating Valentine's quite simple. You just jump in on her and use armor, and she's pretty free. And I would just like to give this 2x just more consistency. Like, it's a skillful thing to use, but I hate how you have to position yourself for it to be useful. Like, you can't just go like you can do this, but the character model will just sometimes hit and sometimes they go, no, not today. Like, it just needs to be a bit more consistent in my eyes. Okay, let's talk about Candy, because they are the most melee cost-efficient unit in this game. Their basic attack is fine. This is not a problem. It's just a basic stab. Like, who cares? The problem is when they're half-life. Try and get them to half-life real quick. This is when they're the problem. At 50% life, they have access to this multi-hitting attack. It's like 4 hits. It's extremely damaging. It has no cooldown. It's just whenever Candy wants to use it, basically. So it can decide to never use it, or it can spam it as much as it wants. And this is why it wins most melee fights against other melee units, because of this attack, really. Now, I would have it so that they can only have access to this when they're at 30% life rather than 50, just to tone down how obnoxious and how cheap they are. Like, it's very frustrating to be on the receiving end of that when you're getting attacked in the back whilst in a master fight. It's just, ugh. Just to bring them down just a slight peg, so to speak. Okay, let's talk about Claire. Claire has 2 problems, really. One, it prioritizes backstepping amongst anything else. So you could just literally walk at this unit. It's just nothing of value. It just spends all its time just backtracking. And even when it's in a corner... Trying to speed it up a little bit. Like, even when it's in the corner, it's not scripted to just use other attacks, like the Get Off Me tool, which is just better in my opinion. Like, if it used... I'm going to do it now. If it used that way more often than backtracking and that move, it'd be a better unit. Because it's losing a lot of damage, because it's just like, oh no, you're near me, I gotta get away. And then you can just abuse it by just getting in the corner and just beating it to death. Its other problem is it turns off ghosts. But it's not the same as the Spirit Seeker, whereas the Spirit Seeker does the same thing, but it does damage. The Eclair just simply turns things off, and it gives the... If there's like enemy units on that ghost, it just gives them free XP because they're doing an action to turn it back on. It's not great at all. So, to make the Eclair better, just make it prioritize backstepping way less. Let it do it once, maybe, and then force it on cooldown. Because it does it too often. And then have it focus using its get off me tool. That. And then it'll be a much better unit. It's just poorly coded. Right, this is probably a reach with Tiramisu, but it's in similar vein as Engulfer, where she does that whilst you're running by. You can't dodge it. I think it needs a channel. Because I have lost the game before. Or me just getting knowledge checked, but I think it's a bit lame. Like, it's not as bad as Engulfer, where you just locked out the abilities, but it's just kind of annoying where, you know, you're just trying to get somewhere and she's like, no, you can't play now, and if you get caught, you die. It's just kind of... Like, there should be a channel. If you run out of range, you get away from it, sort of thing. General changes I would like to see to the game is just armor units being just slower than they currently are. Because they are universally the strongest units in the game in general. Because even their counters take ages to kill them. Magic's included, even though they do 500% damage. But they... What's the status? If they will... Because typically when you buy armors, right, you do something like this. You split your first slot to get as most value as you can. And you would typically grab one of them or two of them and run them to the other side of the map. And that, honestly, for armors, that is way too strong. I think for a bit of counterplay, if they were slower, yes, you can just pick them up and drop them off, which I think is perfectly fine. But this guy should be like halfway. He's already there to do work for you, and I bought him like 20 seconds ago. They're too valuable. They need something to just slow them down a little bit. Going off from that, I would like mobile units to double down on their speed. I would like these units to be the panic button of the game, basically. Like, you send these to the lane, you cannot really focus, but you still need presence. Mobile units can counter most of the roster. They counter armors, they counter magics, it doesn't say, but it counters ranged as well. And even though they're weak to melee units, they keep melee units busy for quite a long while compared to like armors dealing with magics. Magics just shred them because of the 500%. We have arrived. And armors just shred melee for the exact same reason. Elite soldiers. Like in a bind, like if you sent mobiles against melee, yes, melees will win eventually. But it's gonna take them a good minute, and that's 6 mana procs for you to then deal with it later down the line. Like, mobiles are probably, honestly, the most busted unit in this game just because of how versatile they are. Like, they combine very well with ranged units. Like, mobile and ranged cover each other's weaknesses, and it's such a strong combo. But yeah, I'd like to just have these guys double down on their namesake, so they can just zoom to other parts of the map. So you don't have to worry about pocket picketing in the late game so much. You can have these guys just go somewhere and just be like, look after this for me for 30 seconds. Like, these guys have been fighting 30 seconds, and yes, they're half health, but that's still another minute. They still buy you another minute, even though they're a counter, because melees do... I don't think they do as much damage. I think they do like 50% more, which is a massive drop up compared to like 250% like armor units do to melee. In general, I would say for mobile, ranged and magic units, I'll just give them 100 HP across the board. They are way too squish. And if you're trying to do like a, I'm going to drop units off on ghosts, race against armors, you are losing every single time, because you just have to spend no time at all killing these guys. And that wasn't even optimal, and he's nearly dead. Now you probably have to do that 8 more times to kill an armor unit. But giving that 100 HP more, just so that it falls over, so you have to pick up and just, you know, land one more hit. I think that would just make them better. honestly. They're expensive, these units. Like 160 for the worst unit in the game, and it dies in 2 hits. Same with that. Like, you need a little bit more staying power. Like, if you're comparing this with a Quadro Bailiff, for example. Elite ranged and elite magics are hella tanky. Like, they have no reason to be this tanky. Yet here we are. Like, a normal range unit's dead by then. I have to do this 2 more times. Like, let's just, you know, bring ranged and magic units more in line with that. I get it, they're elite, they're supposed to be tankier, but the disparity is just too much in my opinion. Alright, let's talk about chest spawns. They currently spawn in with 200 mana every 2 minutes, and honestly that's enough to throw a lead or gain a significant advantage. Like 200 mana buys you a free life potion, buys you a free basic contract, buys you a free set of units, and if you're winning, it's just win more, and it's kind of horrible. It should be like a respite rather than a, oh wow, I just hard win now. So I like the mechanic because, you know, you can come back with it, but just 200 is too much. I think it needs to be 100. And I think that would be a bit more fairer. It wouldn't swing the game so hard either way so much. With anti-rods, I would like to see them changed.
Let's get this over.
So rather than being an AoE, which it currently is, because if you're on the opposite side of the map, let's say Soul is dealing with something in those 2, there's no way he's going to get here in time for me to then just kill all this stuff really fast. This should be like a missile, similar to how Malzipper works, and this should purely be used for elites. Like, clearing out like baby units is just too much. No one likes to be on the receiving end of getting that hit by 6 units. Yes, it's a skill issue, but it just seals the deal and it's game over, and I don't like it personally. I'd much rather it be a more focused item on elites, and with that said, just take the cooldown away from it. Have it similar to how Malzipper works right now, where it's cooldown now, and then you could just throw it on elite and then just do some work. It still has the counterplay of dispelling it, but I just don't like its current iteration. It's just lame. In my personal opinion, if you just drop it on 6 units, you win because you just caught them with their pants down, basically. Dispel, mostly fine. That cooldown is too long in my opinion when you buy it. I think it should be halved. I would, like, for example, if you're fighting Izuna and he drops Dharma and you just buy one, yes, you're going to have to eat the debuffs it drops, which is fine because he caught you without you buying one. But after a secondary, like, round of it, like, you should have that available to deal with. Like, it just came off cooldown now. That's a lot of abuse you can take from debuffs before, you know, you can answer it, basically. It pretty much covers everything I would change in this game. Well, there's probably more I would change, but those are the glaring things I would tackle. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's a big lengthy one, but I just, you know, woke up this morning and went, I'm going to do this, so I did, and I thought it'd be very interesting to do and create, so I'll see you in the next one.